Hello. So I will show you how to install the Dymo program and how to use it to print your labels. So first you go to dymo.com. And then you choose United States. And then if you're using Windows, you have to be aware of these issues with the printer, but I don't think that affects the model that we have, which is the lab label writer 450. So you just go ahead here in support, download software, drivers, and user guides. And this is really important to do before you plug in the Dymo into your computer. And then you just download for either Mac or Windows and follow the instructions. And after you have installed it, I will show you what to do next to set up for the different printer labels. Thank you. Okay, so this is the Dymo. You will find it in this box here in the lab. And you have to be, probably will be plugged in, but just in case I will show you. It has two connections. This one goes to the computer and this one goes to the electricity. So the one to the electricity is connected to this transformer. And then this is a warning that is really, really important for you to follow. So before you plug in the Dymo in any computer, you have to install the software. So probably you will have it installed already in the desk computer from the lab, but if you want to use it also in your personal laptop, you can, but you have to make sure to follow the instructions in the video on how to load the program before you plug it in. So after that, you just plug it in, and I will show you now how to change the different labels on the Dymo. So a little bit more close maybe. So this doesn't have any security here. You just open it and it can be plugged in when you do that, so it's absolutely fine. And then if there is another set of labels there, how you take them out is just pressing this button here and it will just pull it out, and then you safely without losing any labels, you just take all the whole cartridge here. And then just to change it, you have to, this one, there is one that has this little like openings. You just pull it just like that, and then you can take it out. And then now I will show you the different labels. So these are the original Dymo labels, and they come here with all the instruction. And this is really important with the software instruction, with the template instructions that I show you in the video. So here's the dimensions. They are really important to follow for printing the labels. We are not loading this one now, but just to illustrate how they look like. The ones that you probably will be using for the laboratory because they are suitable for cryopreservation or chemical resistant, etc. They're from the other company, and all the information is inside. So if by any chance you don't know, you just look here and you see the size and if they are cryogenic or not, etc., etc. And then you can find all the information on the webpage of labtech.com. So always follow these and make sure that you're using the proper ones, because even though they look the same, there are some that are not suitable for cryogenic preservation. So now to put it back, you just have to follow this arrow here. So it tells you exactly how it has to go. So if you look at the labels, it looks like this, and it has to be in this exact same way. So you just put it here and try to don't and pull it out too much, and you just put it and press here, whoop, and make it tight, but not by destroying them. So firmly grabbing the labels, and then you just put it here, and then it will go it's super easy. You just put it there and it will fit perfectly. Now what is important to put it here also, here you can also see the instructions, but it's more easy if I show you how to do it. So the next step is to put it here. Always be the black thing has to be aligned with this left side of your hand, your left hand here. Okay, and this is really, really important for how it works. So then the next step is just to put it there as you will do in a normal printer. And then it's really, really important to fit it. So different labels have different width. So this one, it has to be, don't smash it, but put it like tightly to don't let it bounce to one or another side. This is really important to have well print labels. So then when you put it here, you just close it, boop, and sorry, you can keep it open or closed. And then the next step is you just press here, oops, right there, and there, and it will eat it. And because it has these tiny openings, it knows which one it is. If you want to just the first one is bad for some reason, you just keep pressing and then it will move to the next one. And then the same, to release it, you press that button and that's it. Cut. Okay, so I will just show you what do you have now, which is May 2021 in the lab, in the Allen lab. So we got this kit of the label writer for 150, and this one came with nice labels from Dymo. You can use this for shipping or for something that doesn't have to be at any temperature below 4 Celsius and nothing above 30 Celsius degrees. So I will not recommend using any of these labels for any other purposes because they're just mainly for shipping purposes. So it's nice to have it because you can use it for that type of thing or label your notebooks, etc., etc. But what you will have is this nice mesh donated by Alvaro in which you will find the special labels designed for laboratory purposes that come from this company, GA International Lab Tag. So you can look at the webpage or any other information from them to find new tags. And the nice thing, as I show you in another video, is that inside here, in this yellow label inside of the roll, you can find the exact information of the label, the size, the orientation, the code. And for the lab, he got these ones that you can use in the multi-well plates, which is nice because they are really thin and they are suitable for that use. And these ones are regular for tubes, so they are not intended for cryopreservation, so it's just for 4 Celsius degrees, for something at room temperature, etc. And then you have this other set that is for cryopreservation, and it will work nice for your boxes, so you can label the box inside, outside, and it will be easy because this one don't fall off. And the other one are the cryopreservation ones that are inside already of the Dymo for cryotubes. And these are the labels that we just printed in the tutorials. So these are different sizes that you can change a little bit with the features on the software that I just showed you. These are the ones that I printed just with the single use ones. And this is an example of the ones that I printed with the bulk using the Excel sheet. So you can see how they look like. You have to always consider that for the epitubes, the lead label is really tiny, but it still helps you to get more information about what you are looking for in the box. This one fits way more information than the one that I added here, so feel free to add another row of information or even a longer one here. I tried to add QR codes, but they're too tiny to be scanned, so I will not recommend doing that for these tiny tubes, but you can absolutely do that for the boxes or something bigger. Okay, so one important thing to consider is that not all the labels works for are suitable for cryogenic tubes, and because of that, you have to buy special labels depending on the either temperature or chemical requirements for your experiment. And one of the companies that I found that is really good at this is GA International Lab Tag. So this is the webpage. I will put it in a written protocol for this as well. And one important thing here is that you not only obtain and buy the labels from them, but also you can obtain the templates to properly work on the Dymo printer. So when you go here, then you have the different types of templates that you will need to upload in your software for the Dymo to work properly. So for example, here I have the list of the labels that I use. And for example, let's try with this one, that is one of the cryogenic. So one important thing to consider, I think that for your laboratory now, you purchase the horizontal version of this one, and that was a mistake that I made. It's more easy, but with the horizontally oriented, but either way should work for you. So then you have to look at these dimensions and look at the label templates, and I will show you later how to obtain that. Okay, so this is exactly the labels that you have for the 1.5, 1 and 2 ml cryotubes or regular epitubes that you have for your lab. They are in the horizontal version, and I will show you. So here you can see all the specifications, the dimensions, and all the options that you can buy, different colors, etc. Which is important is that they said that is compatible with the Dymo printer, and also that they are cryogenic. So you can use it for nitrogen, deep flash freezing, and also to store stuff at -80. But to obtain the template for this one, you have to go to another page here. Let me see if I can see. So you have to go to the main page of the labels again. And then here above, it says label templates. And then here you have to choose between which one, and you have to go first to the Dymo compatible ones because none of these will work. So in the Dymo compatibles, you have to know which labels do you have. When you look at the ones that you have in the lab, inside of this inner like circle, there is a label there, and they have the catalog number as well as the dimension, and it indicates as well if they are either cryogenic labels or not. So I will just scroll down and look for the ones that you have in the lab. You have to be aware of the dimensions. So even though this one looks similar, the dimensions are not exactly the same. So this is the one that you are looking for. So then you just download the template for that. And then I will show you how to install it later in the next video. Okay, so we will open the Dymo application. And for this, you need to have connected the machine already. And when you open it, it will display by default some labels. So here is where you can find the different type of labels that are kind of official from Dymo. And they're differentiated between shipping, address, etc., etc. But you have to always remember that if you are freezing your samples, they will fall off. So if they are not the special type of labels that I'm showing you in the tutorial that are designed for cryopreservation, you shouldn't use it because you're risking to lose the tags in your samples. So here you cannot find the one that we downloaded. So to open it, you just go to the finder where you download it, and that's a double click, and now you see that they are uploaded here. And it's super straightforward now, because if you have the correct template, you just label them. For example, we will use a sort of imaginary label, but it might be really similar to the ones that you might make in the lab for the fish for the fish projects. So the idea is you just keep printing. You cannot go fancy and pick a certain type of font. So you just have to use the ones that are by default here. You cannot go with something more fancy than this. And I will suggest just go with the most eligible one. So you just keep writing here, and in another tutorial, I will show you how to export directly from Excel. So that will speed up your process. So if you just have to do 5 or 6 labels, you can do it one by one and print it. But then I will show you later how to make a bulk labeling from Excel. So here we will put this, and you can fit all this information. The nice thing is that the program automatically fits the size for it, and then you can tell the program though, for example, for the label, if you want it center, so all is better aligned. And I have to warn you though that the first label, the first couple of label, when you just put the set into the printer, usually comes off. So I will suggest when you do bulk labels, make the first 2 or 3 testing one. So you try to don't use it and write whatever, just to the machine to get adjusted and then properly aligned, so your whole letters fit perfectly on the print, on the labels that you put it. So you just hit print, and then the printer will give you the label. So now I will show you how to do bulk labeling. So this works, for example, when you have consecutive number of I don't know, fish in this case, or something that it will be easy for you to just make a whole spreadsheet with the labels. And it's nice also because you can store this information in your notes, and then it's way more easy to track back which samples came from where and what it's about, etc., etc. So the only requirements here is that you have to consider how you want the labels to be placed on the tag. Sorry, the labeling on the tag. So everything that you want to be in each row, it has to be in one column here. So for example, I label here field 1, field 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you will see later why I did it in that way, because the software of the Dymo requires that. And I just went ahead and put the dates and which fish was and which sample. And then I wrote these additional ones for the tag on the lid. And you will see later why I put it separated, but you can also reuse the ones that you have on the big part of the label as well. So you just save it in an Excel, and you go to the Dymo software. And to use the spreadsheet, you have to go to File in the Dymo. Make sure that you're in the Dymo software here. So import data, new, and then it gives you the instructions that I will just show you how to. So you go ahead and click next. And then here you browse to find your spreadsheet. And I just save it on downloads here, and I will just open. And then you select the sheet that you want to use, and then click next. And here it gives you some instructions that you drag. Sorry, you have to drag each of the fields on the tag, and you just rearrange it as you need. So I will show you how to do that. You can make this a little bit bigger so it's easy for you to see. This is a little bit more funky just because it's from the templates from the labels that are not designed by Dymo, but by this other company, but are the ones that you need for the cryotubes. So it looks a little bit limited, but it works anyway. So you just click, hold, and yes, and you put the field 1, and then you grab and put the field number, return, and field number 2, and then return and field number 3. And you might not see it. You might not see it here, but I will show you that it's totally fine. And then for the lead,
just because of the space, I think that it's easier to make it tinier. So I would put the fish only, and then this one, and then the other one. And to see how it will look like, you just click here, and then you figure out if you want to do an improvement or move it, etc., etc. So this is how the labels will look like. So for example, here, this is too tight, and what I want is that they look like this. So I just put it differently. I should rearrange them, but you use this preview to see how it looks and to see that it's nicely fit here. You can put it more in the center and then go down. It's a little bit limited, but then you see how it will look. And then when all of that is done, you just press next, and it will show you which one do you want to print. And here the software where is noticing like blank the first row where I wrote on the Excel field 1, field 2, field 3. So I just unclick it, and then it will print everything else. And then you just go ahead and click print, and the printer will do the rest.